Many of us are focused on setting financial goals and making budgets for school fees, for household expenses, and other necessities. However, with increasing threats of cyber attacks, malwares, and phishing scams, it is more important than ever to prioritize the security of our personal savings, security of our phones and bank accounts as well. My guest and I will be discussing the best practices for safeguarding your digital assets and exploring the most common threats, to your financial security. Let me introduce my guest, Dr. Oluwayomi Godwin Asogbon, President and CEO, Global Tech World Professionals Limited. Dr. Asogbon is a renowned certified ethical hacker. He is a forensic investigator, a prolific writer, legal advisor, IT expert, but most importantly, and for the purpose of our discourse, he is a cybersecurity arbitrator. The good doctor here has a massive CV, apparently, but let me just stop here and formally welcome Doc to our program. Doctor, welcome so much. Thank you for joining us virtually from Lagos on this episode of Insight. It's good to have you here. Fantastic. Thank you so much. We seem to have an audio issue there with you, but of course, thank you for joining us. Doc, phishing scams are becoming increasingly sophisticated in Nigeria. Can you help us identify some of the most common tactics used by phishers, to trick individuals into reviewing sensitive information, and how can individuals, protect themselves?
Yes. Thank you, the great presenter. When you talk about phishing is one of the tools used by hackers to perpetrate cybercrime on victims. Unfortunately, many Nigerians are not aware of this latest development in this perilous time of ours. When you talk about phishing, it's also a member of the malware. When you talk about malware, we talk about malicious software. Apart from phishing, we have virus, we have Trojan, we have spyware, name it. These are different, tools that hackers, internet fraudsters into victims' data infrastructure. Now, when we talk about how did they use this when you open your mail and you found a link on your mail, this link on your mail, you should not click on it unless it has attachment. That's number one. Number two, where you have been asked to fill certain details relating to your bank details, please don't fill, because they need those information. Apart from that, when you are told that your ATM has expired, them to help you to react. When you hear, let me give you an instance. About 2 years ago, a woman was called upon around December 2003 that they are calling from XYZ Bank. And the woman said, yes, they are a banker. And they say her ATM has expired. She acknowledged that her ATM has expired. Mail that has attachment. Number two, when you see, an email or an information requesting for your bank details, don't respond. Avoid Number three, when you are called to provide your ATM card for ATM renewal, please don't respond. These are fastest way without hassle, without stress. This scammer can get money from your account. Thank you.
True. So these are quite common. These are quite common examples that you've given, Doctor. And I agree with you, they are commonplace. So many Nigerians are falling prey, are falling victims to these scams. But apparently, Doc, the financial services industry is especially vulnerable to cyber attacks because most transactions take place over the internet with wireless communication, and cloud computing. So we're seeing a rise, geometric, pardon me, but we're seeing a geometric rise in cyber attacks targeting personal savings and specifically targeting bank accounts. Even when, and Doc, this is the question, even when we have passwords, even when we have facial recognition software, even when we have biometrics safeguards, we still see some of these things, happen to individuals and families, over time. How can our viewer watching right now protect him or herself? How can Nigerians protect themselves from issues such as identity theft, from account cloning, and related stuff that we're seeing play out these days?
Thank you, presenter. I want you to know there is a type of attack called insider attack. Insider attack. In a recent, seminars that are organized for some stakeholders in Nigeria, I let them know that one of the most dangerous attacks today is insider attack. And what do I mean by insider attack? When people that you so much trusted, when people that have your details now use it against you. Take, for instance, account officer, for instance. An account officer will be malicious in nature. And you as a customer, you have so much depend on this account officer. In fact, there are times he helps you to withdraw money on your behalf. You have to be very careful with the way and manner you relate your personal credentials with account officer. If this happens, it will be very difficult themselves to identify this fraud. Account officers are human beings. They are insider, and they knew you very, very well, so they have to everything about you. It is not a mistake for you to depend on them, but you also need to be watchful. That's one. Number two, people around you can be a man-in-the-middle attack. When we say man-in-the-middle attack, it means you knew that someone around you knew your password.
Okay.
Please change the password. You must develop that culture of changing your password. Take, for instance, when someone knows your age, it's very easy. You agree with me? If I work with you for a week, I will know your date of birth. And once I know your date of birth, it is likely that you use this date of birth in your PIN, as a PIN, or in some of your transactions. And the highest you could do is to use permutations by changing, the number in a particular order. So it is advisable you don't use this at all. And when you knew very well that someone is already aware of your password, change the password. Another thing you must note in a time like this is your app that is on your system. Disable savings. What do I mean by disable savings? What I mean is that when you log into some app, it will prompt you to save. Don't save. Because if you save, whenever hackers or fraudsters lay hold on your phone or the gadgets, there will be no need for them again to log in because you have already saved the login settings. It's automatically registered on your phone. So you need to disable this. You need to disable it. And I want to say this, which I want the entire Nigerians to please pay attention. Wherever you know you save your children life savings, please disable USSD.
Okay.
Remove the mobile app from such accounts, as well as deactivate the ATM. Because if you have these three options on your account is vulnerable. Your account is vulnerable. Because anytime you misplace those gadgets, it does not take about 5 minutes to have access to your account. And this is how they do it.
So the fact that, for instance, I'm using a mobile device I use a mobile device for my transactions mostly. And I use biometrics